TikTok, motherfucker! We love you.
people, from clients, startups, different companies. And so that's how I started. Basically left any other business I had and other things I was interested in, and just decided to focus on animations. And I love it. I do it for fun. Even if I wasn't getting paid for it, I will continue doing it. And I mean, now with NFTs, it's just amazing. Get a lot of support from a lot of people, a lot of new collectors, a lot of colleagues that I've been following now are even collaborating with me sometimes. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Really excited to be part of the project and collaborating with Rizzle, with Sebi. And I I can't believe I'm having a drop on art blocks. It's really exciting.
Well, so let's talk about that. Miguel, you've been an artist for a while, and Rizzle, you've been in the space a long time. How did y'all learn about art blocks?
I actually, so Snowfro and I go way back. We actually, Matt and I had him on the podcast like right in the very early inception of Art Blocks, and I knew, Art Blocks is sort of infamous for putting everything on chain very early on. So I was a huge fan. That goes right along with my narrative of projects that I've been involved in as well. So when the chance came to potentially work with Art Blocks, I like kicked Snowfro my idea, and he thought it was dope. And that's actually how he came to be introduced to Sebi, who has done a ton of really prominent art blocks projects. Stina Jones's Algobots and Crypto Venetians and Unigrids and a bunch of other ones that everyone has heard of as well. So art blocks is sort of like always been in the fam. I actually put together like a cross metaverse event a little over a year ago called the Meta Olympics, and we gave out chromie squiggles to like the top 10 or like 15 people or something. It was so crazy, like, to think back that we were just like giving those things away in like the early days.
That's amazing. Well, let's talk about the project. Rizzle, you mentioned that you think this is something that's never been done before. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I put it out there, man. I don't want to like overstep my whatever you want to call it, but I'm pretty sure a generative wearable has never been done before. And as someone who is obsessed with generative art, I'm like, how is generative metaverse fashion not going to become a thing? It's just not something that people are focusing on or like doing right now. And as it turned out, it was actually like really complicated to put together, over the course of the last 10 months or so. But I feel like it's cool, and I don't think anyone's really tried it before. And I think we check a couple first. It's got like a layer of interoperability where we're giving people the file to do basically whatever they want with it. We're in talks with like a bunch of other projects to incorporate the chains. So, trying to do something a little bit cool and different, but also that is like a dope piece of art. Like, even if you're not into like the metaverse thing, you don't care about bringing it into virtual worlds, they're like really dope looking chains that Miguel Gurres, designed himself. So, this is such like a selfish drop. I basically built like the thing that I wanted, and I'm just hoping other people also want this thing.
Wow, so 10 months you guys been working on this. It's quite the collaboration. How was that experience with 3 different people back and forth?
Easy. Like way easier than I feel like once we all had the vision in mind, it was more a matter of figuring out how to put all the pieces together than it was like, a lot of really difficult decisions to be made or to figure out or whatever. And maybe that's just because we were like all like really easygoing people, to work with in the project or whatever. But it seemed like every decision was like an easy, unanimous decision. Some required like a little bit of discussion to figure out what the best option was. But I think like very early on, we established that our goal was not to rush a project or to just like throw something out there. It was to take our time, however long it needed, to build this like really cool thing that we wanted to build. And so I think the 3 of us were all on board with that. And so once that happened, everything was cool.
Awesome. And how do you envision people wearing these pieces?
hopefully in ways that I haven't even thought of yet. I had Monaverse hit me up out of nowhere trying to figure out how to get the chains into Monaverse, which I love, but they weren't like on my initial like radar in terms of like the easiest way to like port this into places. But my hope is that wherever people like to hang out, we can figure out a way to get this thing in there for them, whether it's like some sort of file conversion or minting a clone. We're still in like a very siloed like metaverse in terms of like interoperability. Being very easy to execute. But this is hopefully a push in that direction. I think I believe people want interoperability and NFTs they can use in like many places. It's just for some reason been off people's radar, and I'm hoping to inspire more projects to push in that direction, so we don't have to keep buying tons of the same things for like all different places, right?
Yeah, very cool. I'm excited to see these things come out. For the sake of time, I know there's a charity component to this drop. Looks like 25%. Can you talk a little bit about where that's going?
Yes, that is going to basically save the rainforest. Another easy decision. I don't have the website pulled up off the top of my head, but this is another easy decision. I mean, we're the three of us are located all over the world. In theory, the metaverse is too. So this is like a global project. I feel like the rainforest is like a charity that everyone across the globe can agree that at least it's important. It's something that we can all sort of uh, uh, actually, if you click on the charity, it takes you to a shot of Iquitos, Peru, which I've actually been there before. It's like total coincidence. I just did some digging once we picked the charity, and I like stayed in a hut in the Amazon jungle for a few days, and it was like pretty crazy and awesome. But cool to see like that connection sort of come full circle. That this is going to help some of like the indigenous people of the area, have a better life and save some trees and frogs and stuff.
That's great. That's great. Well, so we're going to unpause here in about 5 minutes. The project is Onchainchain by Rizzle, Sebi, and Miguel. This is an edition of 2000 and will drop via Dutch auction, beginning at 1.5 ETH, dropping down every 5 minutes to a resting price of 0.025 ETH. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we sign off? And how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about this project?
Let's see. Well, Twitter is probably the easiest way. Follow myself or Miguel on Twitter. Sebi's on Twitter, but he like doesn't. He's sort of like a lurker, so I don't think you're going to get the most current information from Sebi. But he's there as well. And let's see. What was the other question, man? I'm like a few minutes out and trying to.
Just if there's anything else you want to add before you guys unpause, and we'll get you out of here.
Yes. Shout out to the WIP, man. The whole crew and all the people listening in Meme Explorers Discord has been like a huge part of like just supporting this project and like just showing love for what I've been building and everything. And I know like 1.5 ETH prices a lot of people out, and not all of these things were out to me. So I'm hoping this sort of lands somewhere in the realm of everyone who really wants one being able to get one, because it took a lot of like community support to even get to the point where I could do this thing. So shout out to the WIP crew, WIP fam. I know they're all listening to this right now. And I'm going to try not to have a panic attack while I unpause this thing.
All right, well, we'll let you get out of here. Thank you so much for hopping on. I know we're all looking forward to seeing these come out, and we'll see you on the Minter. Thank you, guys.
Yo, thanks for having me. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Wish me luck.
Thank you.
Ah.
They want you locked in your home without God and alone. Don't want you looking up Dr. Sebi and Robert Malone. The truth blocked on your phones. They call the shots from their throne. These politicians and these doctors, they are not in control. Jimmy,
uncover the face that the Lord created so it can be seen. Tired of the fake trending all over the place. We just want to be free. There's no fear with faith is praising, still we're hiding underneath all the passive threats and trauma that came from this tyranny. We won't bow down to the golden cow and do as it pleases. We don't care what they say, it's God over the government. Won't have it any other way, it's God over the government.
Gotta love the fade out. What's up, everybody? Yo, first of all, happy Rizzle Day, everyone. Yo, mic coming through okay? Sound quality okay? Not in the veggie drawer? There we go. All right, y'all, this is Nifty Time, aka Matthew. Welcome to the WIP, y'all. I know everyone's focused on art blocks right now with the Rizzle Mint, the Onchainchain. I'm refreshing like a madman as well. But while that's going on, while the Dutch auction gets kicked off at a pricey 1.5 ETH, it's going to decrease every 5 minutes. So make sure you have a buy price in mind. I know I do. And get ready to smash buy when it hits. Anyway, so stoked for my dude Rizzle and his co-creator Sevi, Miguel Garris. Let's show them the love, y'all. And if that's not enough, we have a whole damn show planned too. It's basically unofficial Pepe Day here at the WIP. We have Sir Skrilla himself in the house, and we're actually crashing his house in CryptoVoxels at his rare villa on the roof. We also have Pepelangelo in the house. Very, very stoked to hear from her. And CryptoLender is joining us to talk about his project, OGC NFTsnapback. Anyway, we have crazy wearable giveaways too on top of everything, but you gotta sign this guest book, which is located in World. If you have problems finding it, let us know. I think it's in World at least. Show will let us know if we got it in there. After the WIP 2, we have a Metaverse premiere of The Code of the Eye by WIP crew member and Metaverse videographer extraordinaire himself, Paradox. So make sure you stick around for that. Since Rizzle, I'm sure, is like manning the manual price change mechanism, whatever that looks like at Art Blocks, I'll do the shout outs for everyone. Big shout out the whole WIP crew, Dragonite, Paradox, Sandy the Meow Meows, Show, Easy Carolina Duh, Con Wolf the Stowaway, Johan, Meme, the whole WIP fam too, y'all. I love this. I love everyone here. What else does Rizzle normally say to get the hype train rolling? Not 100% sure, but I know Skrilla's in the house. So Skrilla, whenever you're ready, man, unmute yourself, take it away and tell us what you've been cooking up.
Yo, what up? What up? Thanks for coming to the spot. I'm out here in the corner over here by Rizzle and Easy and Crypto. Yeah, just I didn't have much time to prepare for this joint. I just got back from the BTC Miami in the fake rare gallery we had down there in Wynwood, and yeah, it was live. It was dope. There was like 25,000 people at the Bitcoin conference. They had an art gallery set up all week for us. I had some stained glass pieces I did of some Pepe's dropping acid that auctioned off well. And then I had, and those are based on my Mind Altering Money series, where it's like frogs with tongues of Bitcoin acid on them. Then I had some pieces in the gallery, had a little bazaar set up to sell records, vinyl, and for my Sound Money album. And I had the whole Fake Rare crew up in the BTC gallery, Indelible, Mr. Hansel, Easy B, rack of people up in there. And then we also had in Wynwood Thursday night, we had a Rare Pepe Fake Rare gallery that had a bunch of physical artwork we brought out there. We had an auction with Scare City, went really well. We had DJ Qbert and Gaslamp Killer DJ in it. And you can go to my Twitter feed at Skrilla Ventura, and if you want to see any like recap of that stuff, I put some video highlights up there in my timeline over the last few days. So yeah, it's been live, just doing that and doing the Fake Rare thing heavy over on the XCP chain, and kind of getting this new age of Rare Pepe's out since we started in September 2021, and it's been going great. We got over 300 cards minted so far by over 100 artists. You know, everybody from like, you know, OG Rare Pepe's to new people coming in from Sear Light and Dangiz, and a bunch of other people have minted Pepe's on there. And it's been dope. So if you're not familiar, you know, check it out. Fake Rares _XCP is the Twitter handle for that. Yeah, that's a little recap there, I think.
Nice. So BTC Miami was pretty lit this year too, right?
Yeah, the whole conference was dope. I didn't really get a chance to go check out the speakers or anything like that, to be honest, because I was just busting my ass in the art gallery and the bazaar and trying to hustle people out of their Bitcoin, basically. I kind of say that I use my art to mine Bitcoin from people that have it, but extracting it and then giving them art. So it's kind of what I was doing.
I love that framing. And it's always about what's happening outside of the conferences. The conferences usually always whack. But the good people are always surrounding us. So glad to hear it's full of a bunch of good people. I know there's a couple questions from the audience too for your Skrilla. So I'll pass the mic to our dude Show, who will relay those questions to you.
Dope. Yo, and congrats on your drop, you know, today as well, guys. The Pepelangelo piece.
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, Show? Show Money, what up?
What's going on, my brother? So, you had an OG podcast called Art on the Blockchain, correct?
Yes.
And I feel like it was a little ahead of its time. How has some of the content shared during that period affected you or influenced your current crypto art endeavors?
Yeah, I mean, so we started it in March of 2017, like the first year, all 2017. I mean, it was basically like interviewing people from Rare Pepe's and some outside people that were doing stuff. But it was pretty like sparse. Wasn't a lot of it was hard to like really know who was in the community before, I would say, Rare Art Festival in January 2018, when everybody kind of came together. And after 2018, you know, we got all the, you know, kind of everybody lined up after that. We interviewed, you know, everybody from Art Gnome to Crypto Graffiti to the Rare, super rare guys to the Crypto Kitty people and Larva Labs and all that stuff. And back then, we you know, I don't think we mentioned NFT, the word, really until towards the end of the podcast. It was called like rare digital art or block art, you know, art on the blockchain, and people had different names, you know, crypto collectibles and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. And you know, I guess like I try to stay true to like that culture of like crypto art and what we kind of had started, I think, in the Rare Pepe's, where it's like a decentralized community, decentralized collector base, artists collecting I think that's where like collectors started from. Really, like there was no like collectors before that, and you know, we kind of became collectors. We became artists. We kind of just fooled around. You know, people joke about utility this week, I see, but you know, we were fooling around a lot with like putting games in the NFTs, putting music and unlockable content, using them as T-shirt. You know, burn one and you get a T-shirt. You know, stuff like that. We were doing a lot of stuff like that, and just from that podcast, you know, I kind of just I think got a lot of opinions from, you know, all the leaders in the crypto art business back then, and I kind of used that as like my, I don't know, my manual going forward. And you know, I'm a Bitcoiner at heart, for real. But I try to promote Bitcoin, and I think unconfiscatable nature of the money, the decentralization of it, kind of the power that the people have with Bitcoin, the freedom of speech, etc. And you know, I think that's always been the case with it. So you know, even in the podcast, like, you know, even in the podcast, I did the music for it. Like it was kind of like a college radio show. We kind of treated it like. So, you know, it's like always been music and art with NFTs, if you want to call them that, for me. So, yeah, I guess that's just where my foundation kind of was, like the Rare Pepes and the Art of the Blockchain podcast.
That's cool. From your experience, do psychedelics and or cannabinoids enhance the creation process of an art piece or take away?
I think they enhance for sure, for me anyway, because it allows me to focus. Like in terms of hallucinogens, like I think basically with hallucinogens, it opens your mind to a lot of different things. I've said before, like there's two types of people in the world, and it's very vague, but you know, the people that have taken hallucinogens or LSD and people that haven't, and like, you know, and that's not a diss to anybody that hasn't. It's just, I think it really just opens your mind in a different way once you do that. And I treat it the same way as Bitcoin. Once you get into Bitcoin, it opens your idea of what the whole different things are of like money and how it's created and what it is. So that's kind of where I've kind of like made that parallel in my art. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, for me, like marijuana is a great thing to do when I'm doing art, because it allows me to focus and kind of takes my mind to a different place sometimes. But also I do a lot of art totally sober. It's just more like taking from the experiences of that, and you know, I can think it kind of just shapes my thoughts a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. I was just talking to Neurocolor this morning on this very strand of thought. We were talking about machine elves and DMT and stuff.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with that breakdown. And yeah, crypto is a trip.
It really is, right?
Totally. Shout out with Mark Rindauer with that snappy comment. But Skrilla, man, thank you for joining us, doing your thing, and hosting us at the Rare Villa. I don't know if you're busy and everything like that, but if you stick around to the end, it could be cool if you give everyone of us that's in world a tour of your pad. I know there's a lot of art in there. I see a piece that I collected as well off of Super of yours. It's looking really dank right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me know. Stick around and we can go on a little tour with you.
Yeah, I'm here. I appreciate y'all coming out, and shout out to the Fly Frogs and all that, Rizzle, and you know, keep it popping. Appreciate you guys.
Keep it popping, keep it hopping. Love it. Awesome. And next up, we have Pepelangelo in the house. I see you here, so if you can hear us, unmute.
Yeah,
and
I'm here.
Take it away. There you go.
Do you hear me? Yes? Everything's okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very nervous. I'm very excited. So hi to everyone.
Super happy to have you here. This is Johan here. We agreed to do kind of like an interview because you were a bit anxious about your English. We have talked before, and I must say that it's. I don't agree with you. You're very good at speaking English, so you have nothing to be nervous about. But yeah, super happy to have you here. For those of you who don't know, you have a lot of fans in this community. You're one of our favorite people in this space. So it's incredible to see you here. And to begin, we would love to hear a bit about you as a person and how you got into NFTs and so on.
So for those who don't know, my name is Olga Vishnevsky. I'm from Russia, but now I live in Armenia because of, political stuff, all the situation with Ukraine and so on. But mostly I'm known as Pepelangelo, and I'm painting Pepes with oil on canvas. In all these historical costumes since 2016 for 6 years. And going to NFT space was not something, something fresh or something unbelievable for me, because even in 2017, I had clients, I had custom orders to paper paintings, and a lot of them were paid in crypto. So I have a lot of people from crypto community, and also in that time paper cards already existed. And so when I heard about NFT like a year ago, maybe more, I wasn't surprised. I said, okay, it's, it was a logical development of my project.
Very nice. I remember seeing Pepe with the pearl earring, and to me, it felt like a very, like a pillar of Pepe art, before I even knew who you were. And then when I found out that it was you who painted it and a bunch of others, I was very amazed that you're like, dedication to Pepe so early. That was still back in 2016, together with, I should say, the Rare Pepe community. But I'm curious, why did you choose Pepe? Or was the reason that you got this focus on this meme?
It's a very long story. I hope you have time to listen to it.
Yes.
Before Pepe, I worked in field of wine, perfumery, public management, and so on. So, to be honest, I had no skills to do anything. I was 21, 22, and I was the co-owner of a small illegal wine bar. At some point, I was forced to sell my part of business and didn't know what to do next. And it was very, very depressing time for me. I lived in a terrible apartment on the first floor. I have rats there. And it was very far from the city center. And I was very afraid that I couldn't do anything useful and nobody needed me and I would never get a job. And I have really bad thoughts. So also I really spent a lot of time, of course, about 4chan, but in Russia we have our own 4chan. It's called Dvach. And it's 2chan, okay? And Pepe the Frog memes were very popular there. And in Russia, Pepe had another context, maybe. In Russia, Pepe the Frog was, and still, I suppose, is about someone sad and depressive and cute and ugly and lonely at the same time. So I never heard about, politics, about Trump, leftists, righties. Of course, there were some Hong Kong protests and so on. It was 2016. And the only thing I wanted to do to start something new in my life. And I remember that I have a frequently client in my bar, an old lady, and she teaches people to draw, to paint, and so on. She was art critics, and I decided to take lessons. And first time it was very hard for me, drawing, graphics, black and white. and so on. And I cried a lot on my painting class. It was private lesson. I cried a lot on my private lessons on paper. Yes, it was ridiculous. But then we began to work with colors. To paint, not paint with watercolor on paper. Very simple still lifes. And suddenly it turned out that I feel it, I love it, and it fascinates me very much, and I really enjoyed it. And I don't know, I was painting like this, some academical traditional stuff, like 2-3 months, and my life became better and better, and looked like I found something that I really like and want to grow my skill in it. And for my birthday, I received a present from my grandmother. Usually we talk to each other, maybe one time in a year, and suddenly I received a birthday present. So she's very strange, and the gift was 2 canvases. So, and they were already used. So she gave me 2 used canvases, and it looks like she was trying to paint something, but she didn't know that you need to put some ground. The first lay is ground, and then you paint. So it was without any ground, and on the one of these I saw Jesus, and on the other one, some flower composition. And I decided, okay, I will start learning how to paint in oil on canvas. It was not cheap for me at that time because I was pretty, without work, I was poor. And I decided to paint something over them. And the very important thing for people who is learning drawing and painting is, it is my recommendation. I highly recommend to all people who is trying themselves in fine art to copy old masters, because it is the best way to learn from old masters. And I knew it because in Russia, in St. Petersburg, we have very old-fashioned academical traditions, and there are a lot of artists from legendary Academy of Art on Vasilievsky Island. Okay, so I want to say that human head is very complex. It's very difficult for painting for young artists. Because before painting human head, you need to paint a lot of studies, to know a lot about anatomy and so on. And I decided that it is too hard for me because I was just at the beginning of my way. And also, when you paint human's head, with some mistakes, it clearly everyone will see your mistakes because we see human heads every day. And it's about hands, it's about heads, so I decided to put Pepe head instead of human's head on classical painting of Philip II. I chose the painting because Philip II has a very beautiful golden embroidery, and I imagine how long it will take to paint this kind of details for me. Long hours of hard work, but I was so afraid that to paint his head will be too much for me. And Pepe is cool. He's, simple. His head consists of 3 spheres, 3 eggs. And also the task to make flat eggs, to give them volume is a good task for a young artist. Also, I understood that painting golden border will take a lot of time, and to put some funny stuff in my work, in my exercise. And of course, it was firstly an exercise for me, not art for sale or anything else. So
Yeah,
I put a head on the second.
very cool. And speaking of heads, so today is the final sale of Pepe with a Pearl Earring, which I personally consider to be your most iconic piece. And when you said that we could, for meme.com, get that piece as our genesis, I was, I fell off my chair. It was incredible to hear, one, that you hadn't minted it before, and also that you would want to do that with us. Not taking too much time, but is there anything you could tell us about that piece, what you think about it, and how it came to be? Yeah.
Okay, it was my third painting in my life. Philip II was the first, and it was very easy for me to work on it. It was very easy and pleasant, and I did a lot with hands, not with brush, with hands, with fingers, and you can see that the contour of her face between background and her face is very soft in some places, very airy, because I worked with fingers. And also, it was the first oil painting which I sold. It was bought by a friend of my ex-husband for 10,000 rubles. It's about $170. I suppose now the original is still in Moscow. Yes, and I want to thank you because you, Meme.com, I think you was the first who believe in my art in NFT sphere, because it was my first collaboration, and thank you again.
Very happy to hear it, and also cool to see that cheap art in the beginning, I wouldn't say necessarily it's a bad thing. It's good to get it out there. And to wrap it up, do you have any thoughts on the NFT space today? And also, is there anything else you would like the community to know before we drop off?
I understand that we have a lot of NFT artists here. Am I right?
Yes.
So I think that the NFT space is very young and it's kind of Wild West. And now there are a lot of artists, and some are really great. And digital art and not digital art and so on. But also I see a lot of people who is trying just to get some money in a very quick way. And they're not thinking about art, about the product. And I'm sure that if we want, some developing of NFT, we need to do all our best to make high quality art, not thinking about NFT like easy money, and invest labor, effort, and time in our work, because low quality art spoils the image of NFT for other non-crypto people. And I think some people see the NFT space like some magical country of fools where magical idiots, give you money for anything you will do. Of course, it's not. And I'm sure that we will have a lot of new, different arts, not only painting or only visual art in NFTs. Sure, it's something more.
Definitely.
And of course, I want to wish you enough strength and enough courage to express yourself and to put it in NFT. And we really need courage to make something new in NFT sphere, because, there are some examples when people just want to get easy money and copy some projects and do almost the same. And it's really bad, I think, because if we want to make steps, to be treated as a serious, something serious, we need fresh ideas and fresh view. So creativity, honesty, and hard work, goodwill, openness to new things. I wish you all.
I could not agree more. I could not agree more. I will also end on a request from Patso and the community that you sign a few more marble cards that's in your offer tab.
So you can have a look at that afterwards if you want to. But thank you so much, Pepelangelo, for joining this. I really appreciate it.
Yes,
for taking
thank
the
you.
time. Thank you.
Bye.
Love that. And then Johan, for the auctions for those 3 pieces, like where, when, like how can people scoop them? I saw like 1.69 ETH there, but
yeah, so they will be listed on OpenSea in 30 minutes or so. So first come, first serve. They will be up until all 3 are sold.
Oh wow, okay. And, like, are these the only 3 of these minted, or like what was the original edition
So
size?
all the Meme.com meme art have 21 pieces, but most of them are earned by the community for contributing, in this case, to the Pepe meme. So these are the only ones that will be up for sale. The other ones have been, earned by the community and doing different things and supporting Pepe, for example, and so on.
Amazing. Awesome. So we'll have a separate announcement when we get to the top of the hour. But currently we have one more speaker. We have CryptoLander in the house here to talk about OGC Snapback. He has some wearable giveaways for everyone, including a Rizzle Fireman virtual hat. The Stowaway Congo has them in his custody. He's got some Matic, and as long as folks hop in world, sign the guest book, they will be getting airdropped these wearables. They're really dope and sick. So with that, CryptoLander, dude, unmute and take it away.
Well, thank you first of all for having me here, and thank you everyone in the community. Exciting times ahead. Can you guys hear me all right?
Loud and clear. Whenever you're ready, take it away. Tell us what the latest works in progress you have cooking up are.
Well, for anyone that hasn't come across or heard of OGC NFT Snapback, well, first of all, OGC just stands for Original Genuine Collection, and the whole concept and idea came from while being in this space. A little bit of background: I kind of jumped into the crypto world in 2017, just discovering Bitcoin, Ethereum, and just dabbled in for many years. And it was around the summertime of 2020 where NFTs and the talks of digital assets kind of came into my view as such, and then just kind of read up and I would have said done some research. And it wasn't until 2021 I really got into the space and started buying my first NFTs and trading and collections, and just literally just immersed myself into the space. And before you know it, being part of a community, some of you might have come across, called Cyberkongs, just an idea of like creating a merch or creating a hat for my NFT came into my head. And it just started just as literally a community project where I wanted to create 275 hats of my Kong at the time and just distribute it to the CyberKongs community. And at the time I was with lads as well, with the lads community. So they were all airdropped. And then before you know it, a proof of concept came to life. And I think Rizzle was saying he wanted to claim something as the first on-chain. Well, I like to claim my hats being the first digital hat collection backed by a physical item. So from that concept, it kind of grew on, and then 8 to 9 months working behind the scenes, trying to build a platform and so on. Now the website and the project is fully operational and live.
Love that. And I know there's some questions for you, so we'll get to those. If you want to drop any of those thumbnails, if you have them handy, of the wearables that are going to be given away, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
I've got the OpenSea. I'll just drop the link here. So with these wearables, there's a collection that's going to be coming out, and I'm happy to announce it while I'm here with you guys that on the 22nd of April, next week, Friday, we'll hopefully be launching the first full series of collaborated editions of hats. So if you go onto the website, which I'll post the link here, you'll be able to see on the Mint NFT page all series, including Rizzle's Fire Hat Man Avastar series as one of them. And you've also got Cloud White's Axie Cocaine Cowboys. We also have Eric, which some of you I'm sure are familiar with, the founder of Unofficial Punks and the kind of craze of the alt punk derivatives that he started off. And then we've also got a digital artist named Florian, who's worked on some big movies, and he's got a whole Drippy's Universe collection, and kind of all collab together to basically introduce this concept. So each of them will have 50 series of hats. Each NFT will be backed by a physical item. Once anyone wishes to claim it at any time, you can come to the website, claim the physical, that NFT gets burnt, and then subsequently what we will do is once you claim your physical, we will airdrop you your decentralized wearable item. So you'll have a matching physical hat to go also with your Metaverse hat.
I love that. I love bringing the physical into the digital and virtual and combining the best of both worlds. So with that, I know there's some questions. I'm seeing Hidden Forces tag hit up show. So I'll pass the mic to show to hit you with those questions.
Hey Lander, what's going on, man?
All good, my man. How you doing?
Good. Digiphysical used to be a term that many of us were trying to get used to while describing this thing that we all knew we needed, you know, like a way to connect our physical clothing with our digital wearables, right? Italian fashion houses have been doing their fashion weeks in Decentraland now. There were a number of projects that presented here that explain various aspects of the term digiphysical, but to you, what does it really mean?
Well, that's a good question. I think for me is embracing the two realms. I believe there's a future where you can never go shopping ever again for any clothing, whether if it's trainers, hats, jumper, regardless, and not be offered a digital version of it. And it's just the understanding that while we're immersing more digitally, we want to bring our real life assets, whatever that may be, into our kind of digital immersive world that we will kind of be embracing or day to day taking more or spending more time in it. And then the concept was like, why would I want to, for example, buy something physically but not be able to carry that over into the metaverse world or the digital world that I'm kind of awaiting for? So it is just the simplicity, as in I call it digifizzy. Some people might call it actually just digiphysical. Some people might literally rebrand the whole mechanics and call it something else and run with it. But to me, it is that like literal essence of immersing, you know, what you like from the real world and then kind of allowing you to take it over or cross that bridge over into the metaverse or into the digital world.
That's cool. We also have a two-part question from Hidden Forces and Ballistic Banana. They would like to know, how do artists get into this snapback game, and are you London-based?
Well, I do have a London accent. I used to live in London. I moved out of London, but I still live in the UK. But it's all the same, in other words. But how do artists get into the NFT snapbacks? As in, for my project personally, I've created it for the space. It isn't something selfishly for myself. I kind of realized early on in 2021, people wanted to express, but the merchandise wasn't really a thing in the summer of 2021. People were just building collections and trying to build as many collectibles and try to, capture as much ETH they could capture from the market. But there wasn't a way I felt at that time. I saw people being able to express themselves through physical items, and artists that have any collections or any work or they want to create things for their communities, I'm very open. I think artists should be very open in regards of like expressing themselves or finding ways to express themselves. But I noticed that in this space, the community vibe is so real that I'm willing to help, collaborate, show what I kind of have experience in. But I wouldn't say I'm an artist. I would say I'm more creative thinking, if that makes sense. But I couldn't paint or kind of come up with a concept to save my life, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense. That's awesome. And again, thank you so much for the wearable airdrops that are going to rain down upon some lucky guest book signers. Make sure you go into RareScrilla in CryptoVoxel, sign the guest book so you can get the epic wearables and snapbacks that CryptoLander so graciously donated to the WIP fam.
Wanted to mention in regards with the snapbacks, I also gave you guys a friend of mine who does decentralized wearable trainers. And I thought it would be nice to kind of have some of those thrown in with the hats. So when you are going into the DCL world, Metaverse, not only will you have decent, nice hat swagger, you'll also have some nice shoes as well to go with that hat. I'll post a quick link of his Twitter handle, and you get to kind of see, hopefully, his kicks. And in this space, I see a lot of artists creating, not just hats and stuff, but all sorts. So it's amazing to kind of collab and try to bring other people's stuff to the community as well. That's just not mine as well, if that makes sense.
No, totally. And yeah, a bunch of questions about where the guest book is right by Skrilla's DJ booth. So check it out there if you have questions or trouble finding that. Ask us, we'll point it out to y'all. CryptoLander, dude, thank you so much once again, man.
No, thank you guys again for having me, and appreciate your time. It's been awesome being here and being part of the community. Looks like I'm going to be jamming here a bit more often now.
Hell yeah, dude. Love to hear it.
No.
And yeah, Skrilla, if you're still in the house, man, and you're still open to it, would love to kind of take a tour of your rare villa. I know, selfishly, I know Sweep the Floor is hanging up there. I don't know if you want to talk about some of the pieces of yours that you have hanging up there, but would love to kind of hear you give us a tour and go deeper on some of your art pieces that you have hanging up.
Yo, what up? Yeah, I'm definitely down. First of all, those interviews are dope. Good to hear all that talk from everybody. Yeah, you want to start upstairs and just walk downstairs?
Yeah, it's perfect.
All right, so yeah, we'll start with your piece first here. We got the Sweep the Floor over here on the right of the DJ booth. I think it's actually turned mirrored right now. It's for some reason it's actually looks reversed, but the guy in the corner is DJ Pepe showing the NFT whale and apes, the rare Pepe card, while they're sweeping up a bunch of NFTs. All these NFTs on the floor actually I own. So it's kind of like sweeping the floor, basically just showing like, I did the whale and kind of like a luxurious print type thing because they're balling. They can go sweep the floor for 100 ETH. And then all of those NFTs down there I owned at the time of creation. I don't own all of them. I see one of the squiggles I sold. I do own the other squiggle there. Some Byte Beats, some Avastars, some can't see everything in there right now, but there's a hash mask in there. It's a bunch of art block stuff in there. And then you got the Pepe under the rug kind of, because at the time this came out last summer and like Pepes were kind of just getting big, and I was just kind of trying to say like there's a lot of like people are talking about OG NFTs and stuff like that, and that was just kind of like sounding the horn a little bit, which is what I got Debussy's CryptoPunk in the corner there, kind of about to sound the alarm because he was a big Pepe supporter and kind of showing people the history of it. And on the lunchbox, actually, I don't think you can read it right there right now, but it says something along the lines of like Pepe art blocks, glyphs, like DAO type thing, because everybody was talking about doing DAOs. And then you may or may not have art chick there throwing Ethereum at anything and everything because she was a celebrity at the time. And then at the very top, you got the security camera because, you know, everybody's watching this go down. And, that was kind of like, you know, I think the blockchain is an easily surveillance tool. So I was just kind of pointing that out as a, you know, because there's always been rumors of like money laundering and all that type of stuff. And yeah. So that was that. That was kind of the point of this whole piece right there. Then you go over to the across the way is the Bitcoin whale. This is a piece I did. It's one of my early super rare pieces. It's got basically just a classy whale sitting in his chair with his Bitcoin chain, his nice gold watch, and kind of the charts are going up. It was just kind of like an example of, how I feel like rich Bitcoiners sit around and just collect money in their maroon leather chairs. Yeah, so that's what that one is. Then you got, and that one actually is owned by Starry Night Capital. Then you move over to this one here, the Range Day one. This one's called Unhackable Pepe, actually. And I actually did 13 artist prints of this. You can only see a part of it right now because it's actually like more in a card format, like a long. It's not square, so it cuts off the top and bottom right now. We just put this up real quick because I hadn't decorated in this in a while. This is one of my more recent pieces on Super Rare. It's actually animated as well, and I drew this on an airplane leaving Las Vegas, a Bitcoin maximalist conference that Tone Vase threw. And it just had me all conspiratoried out, basically. I was at the airport, and it kind of is cut off in this picture here, but it says arm day, leg day, range day. And I was at the airport, and I saw somebody wearing that shirt, and that just kind of started my drawing on the plane, where I drew that first. And, just got Klaus Schwab down there. And if you look at the whole piece on Super Rare, it's superrare.com/JScrilla. You can see kind of more in depth when it's animated and everything. It's got Klaus Schwab with his fingers crossed and some titties. Then you got just little things in there. There's a lot of little Easter eggs in there you can figure out, but I just I get a little paranoid about unelected officials kind of like infiltrating all the worldwide governments. That's kind of what this is about. And actually the audio on the actual piece on Super Rare talks about hacking people and all that stuff. And the whole point of this piece is that Pepe is unhackable. So that's that. And then you got down here, you got the black and white Pepe that's animated right there. It's kind of looks a lot better on Super Rare, but it's a hand-drawn pen ink. I did the original card for the 2016 Rare Pepe set. It's called Clockwork Orange or Clockwork Green. And I just made this a 1-of-1 animated on Super Rare. So this is like actually, I have 2 Super Rare accounts, and one of them I minted like in the first, I think it was like token 60 through 64 on Super Rare. And then I got rid of that account. And this is my first Super Rare piece on my new account. I think this is like one of the early tokens, probably like in the 100s or something. And it's just animated Pepe basically from Clockwork Orange. If you look into it, it's got some cards and the details, like Pepe cards and all that stuff. And if you look on the screen in the back here, you go over, and this again was around the time I did Sweep the Floor. And it was just basically kind of, the PFPs kind of just go a little crazy for me. I'm more into like, art and memes and stuff like that. And even though I do see the value in some of these PFPs, but it's just getting a little outlandish. Like everybody's saying CryptoPunks was first, and the Bored Apes were going crazy, and you got the Me Bits getting strung up by Pepe King over there. And I just had DJ Pepe, which is one of my most known Rare Pepes, kind of DJing the party. And Pepes are kind of like the boss of this party. Like when you step into a Pepe's home, you gotta be careful, and might F you up a little bit. It's got the green Satoshi Nakamoto, the original Rare Pepe, snapping his fingers next to the card there. And the blonde-haired lady frog is depicted as my wife. who I actually met through Bitcoin and Rare Pepe chats back in the day, back in 2017. So, and that one's actually a little cut off to the top of it. I think that's all up here, right? So if you go downstairs, go down these steps here. These are the logo. The steps are, so this whole space, by the way, was done by Fishbrain and his team. Actually, last year I made it in time for the DJ Pepe 5-year party, and so I want to give a huge shout out to them. So if you look at this first piece right here, down the stairs, this is actually a Rome Streets NFT I did on Super Rare, where we Rome Streets is signed to Griselda Records with Benny the Butcher and West Side Gun and Conway the Machine, and we've done some music together. So I just wanted to kind of like put him in the game. We released this on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day of 2021, and it's got an exclusive song on there. A guy named Pharma Beats did the production from the UK. Rome did the raps, and I did the art and animation on it. And it's basically him. I actually painted this and with an iPad or whatever, and it wasn't Procreate. It was like whatever was before Procreate. And I don't do too many like digital paintings or anything, but this one I just digitally painted it and took a subway behind it and kind of like saturated and animated it out and kind of just gave it like that Brooklyn underground feel. The guys coming in, signing graffiti, Rome Streets on the side there. I love graffiti. So that's what that is. And that one actually came with a vinyl record too. It came with a 1-of-1 vinyl record, and Satoshi's Closet owns that, they have a dope NFT app. And if you look behind this, over here where Fly Frog and Banana is, you got some AI generated stuff. So this is off Super Rare, where it's just like the quick GIF, but the actual piece, if you go on superrare.com/JScrilla, you can see this one. And it's got, this one's owned by Coldy, and it kind of was I took some audio, I made the music, and I did the AI using Playform, and I took all my old Rare Pepes and just ran them through a generator. And the point of this one here was this guy was talking about NFTs, and he was calling them NTFs on a YouTube channel, and I just thought it was hilarious, so I chopped up his audio and put it over a beat. So you can check that out with the whole audio. Then if you go out to the Super Rare gallery here, you see that this is my first piece right here on the left that I ever did on Ethereum. It's called Can't Smoke a Bitcoin. This is actually a edition piece on Super Rare before they had just 1-of-1s. So like I said, I think this is token 60 through 64, owned by Token Angels, some other people. I actually was able to secure one of these again last year in a trade. So this is actually part of a music video I did in 2018 called Can't Smoke a Bitcoin. You can look it up on YouTube, and it kind of just, it goes back to my whole Bitcoin is mind-altering money type thing. And, if you watch the video, you kind of figure out where I go with that. And that person I drew there is Peter Schiff, and I drew him in the context of New Jack City and Pookie, where just Bitcoin's this addictive drug. Then in the rare drops here, you got the fake DJ Pepe, which is me and DJ Q-Bert's collaboration card that we did late last year. And DJ Pepe, the original card, is based on DJ Q-Bert, who's one of my favorite DJs of all time. So he entered the NFT space last summer. And when he entered, I knew a friend, and I hit him up, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta get Q-Bert one of these DJ Pepes." And he hit me up. He's like, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of DJ Pepe already." It was crazy. He was totally into it. He's been making Pepes now for the last 6 months. He just dropped one last week at the auction in Miami. So it's kind of like a collab card. I just did all the art on it again, and he wrote the text at the bottom there. And then you go over one, you see this is a collaboration I did with Coldy, where he took all my Rare Pepes and did his style on a Super Rare piece. So this one's actually on Coldy's Super Rare page. You can see it. This one also owned by Starry Night. We dropped that last year. It was a cool little piece. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, you go over this wall back here. This is the honey badger piece right here. It's also on super rare. All these pieces are in super rare in this gallery. So this one is actually a beat I did, and it's got the cars exploding next to the Capitol with the Bitcoin going up, and kind of made it like a little video game part where you see like the moon and it says like beginning and start in the top and the bottom of the chart. So the chart only goes up a little ways because I don't think we're near the moon, so the moon is still not getting hit by the chart. And you got the MPC in the corner. The MPC is what the music instrument I use for most of my beats, and the honey badger is like the representation. It's like the first, well, not the first, but it's like, I think the llama might have been first, but the honey badger was like a really well-known Bitcoin meme that I still use in a lot of my art. It's not as popular as it used to be, but I kind of like, I think the badger, the bull, and the Pepe are like the three best like Bitcoin memes, so I use them a lot. Then you go over here to the next one. This is actually an animated one that's on super rare, and it's mind altering money. This is like the first actual depiction that I did. I put in the title called Mind Altering Money, where it has kind of like my more like style that I kind of still have, where it's got the triangles, like the stained glass triangles kind of embedded in it, the Bitcoin tongue, kind of just weird characters all like drawn within each other. I try to like draw characters and not leave any negative space really, where they pop off of each other. And if you look deep, like some of like the eyes become the ears and stuff like that. So I try to make it kind of like something that you can stare at for a while and see new things. Then you go over to the right, you got B-Boy Pepe. This is part of the hip hop series I did, and the original DJ Pepe, or the original Pepe set with DJ Pepe, B-Boy Pepe, MC Pepe, and Pepe One, the graffiti Pepe. So that's just what that is. Big into hip hop, so I definitely represented that, the original Rare Pepes. And you look over here, and you see this female Pepe. And this is not actually my art. This is something that the builders put together as like a little funny thing. There is like a stripper Pepe in the original Rare Pepes, so we just wanted to have a little bit of fun there. And you got MC Pepe over here, which I kind of just talked about, and that's a depiction of Rakim, which I think was like the second generation of hip hop. He was like the kind of like the genesis of that. After that came like Cool G Rap and Nas, and everybody just and the rap styles kind of shifted in cadence and style and delivery, and he kind of like was like the pinnacle of that to me. Then you got over here, this one's called, I forget what this one's called. It might be called Stop Staying Poor. But it was basically somebody, I forget his name, Sam Brunkham maybe, on Twitter, tweeted out that crypto was a bunch of animals, and all the animals he named, I just put it in here and kind of just made a picture off of it. So like he said like bulls, bears, whales, shrimps, dodos, I think, and trolls and such. So this is actually another one that's kind of cut off. You can see it on super rare, but it just kind of depicts like last summer, like the NFT, the DeFi stuff that was going on the summer before, and the whales kind of eating the minnows. The bull was killing the bear at that time because last summer was pretty crazy. That's kind of what that's depicting, and that's done with colored pencils, which I usually use marker. This one here is this one here is kind of Money Printer Go Burr. I did a Found Money album, and I used the music off that, Money Printer Go Burr, on this one, and just depicted Jerome Powell and the Treasury, everybody just printing money. So I was kind of just taking that meme and putting a little face to it, and I made it like kind of like a news site with the live thing and a Channel 21 on the bottom right. And those bills that are spitting out, they say fart on them. I think a lot of fiat's become fart money. Let's see here. Go downstairs. No, that's outside. We'll go downstairs here. and we're almost done here. You got the you got MF Pepe there. You know, this is based on MF Doom, one of my favorite rappers. Made this back in 2016. It's based on like the Garbage Pail Kids and Pepe's. I think Pepe's are kind of like Garbage Pail Kids in a lot of ways. So I kind of just tied that all together. And you go downstairs here. And you got the Tribe Called Quest Pepe here. This is one of my favorite rare Pepes I did. I think it's like kind of shows like Pepe is for everybody. Like one thing I try to explain when people are, you know, there's still a minority of people out there like, oh, I thought Pepe's was like alt-right or something. And I'm like, well, that's just not true, because Pepe is like the most open source meme and kind of medium, in my opinion, for the digital world. Like the internet, it's like the meme of the internet. Just like Bitcoin is like the internet of the people. I think Pepe is the meme of the people, and anybody can use it. So anybody can use it to send their message, and people use Pepe to send the message that they want, because, you know, it's the easiest way to express emotion. Kind of like what Pepelangelo was saying earlier about how it's pretty easy to draw like a Pepe head. I think that's why a lot of people can express emotion through it, because you can easily draw it and just kind of like add your own twist to it. So this Tribe Called Quest album, Midnight Marauders, is one of my favorite albums of all time. So I just wanted to show love and kind of put that together. Then, yeah, you got to do downstairs here. You know, we're all downstairs. You got the bar in the back there. It's got my honey badger over here. I actually minted this on Codex when Codex was a thing back in the day. You got the async art piece right here. The Money Badger is a song I did. It's a programmable music song on async.art. You can buy a single depending on what layers are being shown at the time. And you got this badger that runs across the bar. I'm not seeing it run right now, but usually like runs back and forth. There it goes. Runs back and forth on the bar. That's my honey badger guy. You got some Pepe juice in the back in that bar. And then you got the flyer for the Rare Pepe, or the DJ Pepe event over here by the bouncer. And this was a party we did last year here. This is the first big party I did here, where we had Coldy, Tatiana, Theo, Studio Nouveau, DJ Qbert, Kane Mayfield, Connie Digital, Crypto Graffiti, Joe Looney, Ill Bill, Natalie Crew, Maxwell Bruno, and we had Lynn Albright, come in, Ross's mom, and talk a little bit. So this is a pretty fun event. If you came, you got a Pope that got dropped to you. And then finally, if you have a gold chain, a DJ Pepe gold chain, you can right-click on the access portal, I think. Sometimes it's a little funky. Yeah, so you right-click on the door, and it brings you to a mint gate, and you open it, and you can go into, you can only go one at a time, like not everybody's gonna go in. I mean, you can all go in right now, but it only show one person in there, because it's kind of like not in crypto voxels, but it has it's a separate room basically, where I have a bunch of async art, my Money Badger stuff, you know, Mike Shinoba and RAC, and just kind of like doing a little music studio. I got DJ Pepe in the back room. So if you have access to that, you just need the DJ Pepe gold chain. It's on my OpenSea account for I think like 0.0025 to buy. And you can come in here, and the idea for this room is kind of like build it out a little bit more and make like exclusive interviews and stuff in there. So yeah, and then if you walk out of the joint, you can walk through the big mouth of the Pepe head. Probably most of you had to walk through to get here. And this is one of my favorite parts of the whole thing here is, you know, you got a big Pepe tongue, which is kind of like what I draw as tongues coming out of Pepe, and you've got to enter. It's a big DJ Pepe head. So, yeah. That's the tour, folks.
Dude, that was so sick.
Sorry if I'm long-winded.
No, man. I was soaking everything up personally. It was so cool to get that history for all the pieces. And flying through Pepe's mouth, when I was checking out your spot yesterday ahead of the show. I got stuck on the outside. I was like, how the fuck do I get in here? And then the mouth opened. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
It's perfect touch, man.
Yeah, that's man. Like I said, like if you need a spot build, I don't know what they're doing now, but Fishbrain would kind of like project manage that and had a bunch of dope builders for this last year. Even at the very top, if you look all the way up top, you see a giant DJ Pepe head. You can go up, you can walk up these like kind of like invisible stairs or fly up there, and you'll see that going on. Yeah, so appreciate you guys out to the joint, man.
Oh yeah, thank you, man. And well, at this point, it's probably perfect time for the real paradox to pop in. Yep. You want to lead us onto where you think would be the best place to take a commemorative photo of this very fine WIP day.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Excellent. Right. Whew. Let's keep up the energy, shall we, WIP fam? We have quite a lot left of this show to go. So, first things first, Dragon8, do your thing.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Okay, hey WIP fam. So, if you've not been listening, my name is Paradox. I am the resident WIP videographer. And this is the part of the show where we take a group photo and some group video in-world in CryptoVoxels. So, whilst I give you a little bit more information, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to get organized. So, let's get this ball rolling by having everyone jump in-world and gather at ground level on the edge of the water, kind of where all the seats are, right underneath the rare villa sign. So let's get that going. Is everyone coming? Okay, cool. So whilst you do that, last week I previewed the first 1 minute of a mini documentary I've been working on. This documentary is called The Cult of the Eye, and it will be premiering immediately after the Afties with show. It's a 10-minute documentary, and it explores an ancient phenomenon from the CryptoVoxels in 2018. If you call yourself a good citizen of CryptoVoxels, you're going to want to see it. So, the premiere will be at the amazing Granting Wishes Cinema in CryptoVoxels. I'll make sure to have a link ready for you after show is done annihilating your eardrums. So stick around in the meme.com Discord, as the event audio is going to be in the same place. It's going to be hosted here. So, and the very last thing I want to say on that is make sure to sign the guest book this week, the WIP guest book, as there are some very special wearable giveaways as part of the premiere. So, yeah, after the Afties, make sure to come to the premiere if you can. So now I'm going to do my job, and I think everybody is in position and the camera is recording. Excellent. So I put together a weekly update video. Rizzle posts it on his Twitter, so keep an eye out for that. If you'd like to be in the video, now's your chance. Good crowd. Dragon8, hit the music. Everyone else, throw up some emojis, please. I think we managed to crash CryptoVoxels, or at least on my side, but I got some good video. So that is the portion of the WIP where we take the video. Thanks very much. I'll see you guys hopefully at the premiere after the Afties. Until then, I'll pass over. Cheers.
Cheers, dude. And yeah, we crashed all the things today successfully. Our blocks, CryptoVoxels again. Hell yeah. Not really hell yeah for our blocks, Jesus Christ, but how are we going to scoop our on-chain chains? I'm sure Rizzle's going to keep us posted with that. But we're at the end of the show. Real quick, big shout out to everyone. We've gotten some donations through the WIP Meetup.eth, especially big shout out to Brookhawk. Thinking about cool ways to kind of reward everyone that sends funds to the WIP Meetup.eth, which through the power of 0x splits routes funds to every single member of the WIP crew. We're going to do something really special for y'all. But much love to everyone there, sending everything out to the WIP Meetup.eth. And with that, I kind of want Show to yell at us. I think we need to.
How's my audio, y'all? My 2x2 or 5x5? Hey, Nate, you have the intro, right? Wait, is this thing on? If that's cool with you. Wait, is this thing on? Yeah! Yeah!
It's time for the FDs.
Hot takes, opinions, thoughts. Let's go! WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam. WIP fam, mute your microphones. Mute your microphones, WIP fam. WIP fam, are you awake? Are you crashed? Is your brain crashed? I invite you into my home and you're breaking shit? Stop breaking shit. You're embarrassing me. Yes, it's me. WIP fam, I feel like the wind, the air, the oxygen has been sucked out, vacuumed out, torn out of both my chest and all of the cavities of the crypto space. The hopes, the dreams, the bullishness of it all has been stomped to stagnation. I've been saying for weeks now that it feels like this crypto winter, now crypto spring, hasn't had its flowers bloom yet. The flowers aren't blooming. The leaves aren't growing. The roots are withering. The best way for things to start moving and flowing is to give us water. We need water. Devs, do something. Literally, we've been waiting for things to start sprouting and growing in reaction to the Ethereum merge finally launching in June. And now the devs, in the form of gardeners and caretakers of this crypto garden, have said that they're trying to discover the right ways to water the garden, but need more time to make sure the tools and water hoses and sprinklers are working. So they are testing the fucking water sprinklers on fake gardens that look like this garden, but with AstroTurf to make sure that they don't fuck up pouring water. Water on some fucking flower seeds. I love devs. They always brag about their skills and that no one else understands them, but I feel like gardening isn't one of those skills that they brag about. You can't have any excuse me. This pissed me off to the point where I had to DM Drago Nate and we had a heart to heart. So I gotta make sure that you understand where I'm coming from when I tell you this shit. You can't have an aw shucks moment. Hey Marty, You just got server muted. Please mute your microphones. Thank you so much. So thank you very much. Let me add even more emphasis and not just increase my ire. Open fucking mics, right? I wish devs had open mics and listened to the people telling them to do shit. Well, I was having a conversation with Dragonate, and I was like, you can have an aw shucks moment after telling the homeowners with their white picket fence that you've been making hypothetical tests on watering their garden, and that their hypothesis is that it might work, but has bugs all over the place that they need to kill, so we need to wait until September in the fall in order to water the garden. Do you understand what I'm alluding to? And then have the fucking balls to come back the next day and say that they didn't realize that it would piss off the homeowners who have been waiting for anyone to water the damn garden. What I mean is this, okay? Not a garden, but an Ethereum dev in the form of Tim Baiko of Ethereum Foundation fame didn't realize what kind of reaction he would have received just from saying that the Ethereum merge is pushed back to Q3 of this year. Every fucking publication known to man went directly to print, full send, on a tweet of his, and he was shocked. He was shocked that everybody was like, what the fuck are you doing? Everybody literally was like, what are you doing? This is like the umpteenth delay. Are you serious? He was like, oh, my bad. Here's some context. I didn't really mean Q3. I meant like we don't really have a date yet. These are the things and these are the reasons. Maybe because you're not immersed in the dev process or processes or whatever. You may not understand why I'm saying it may not. Hey, man. We've been waiting for months for someone to water this damn thing. No, the tide doesn't ebb and flow. Don't get off my lawn, motherfucker. Get on it. Welcome to the Afties, y'all. I'm your host, Show You Already Know. If you don't know, you will know by the ends of this thing where spit is flying into my microphone and it messes up the quality of the audio, but not really. Super simple. During this period, I want you to provide your opinion, your thoughts, your prayers, your subconscious images that you're afraid to share with the world. You had 3 awesome presenters present shit. You were thinking things, imagining things. Give me your deepest, darkest secrets about what you heard and were presented with. Phrase it in the form of a hot take. Don't ask me a question you know the answer to. Make it rhetorical. Cool. First up, we had RareScrilla. RareScrilla, shout out to this presenter. He was awesome. He was great. I was eating popcorn. I was listening. I had so many opinions. I had so many thoughts. Something that's really struck home for me, and here's my hot take, is that the old guard that made millions off of 0.0002% APY and that collect gold stocks, right? I believe that they all secretly meet up in a loft/penthouse space that's owned by Peter Schiff. They wear masks, right? And all kinds of costumes. And they do sacrificial prayers and shit. And they lick the toes of Peter fucking Schiff. And this penthouse looks just like RareScrilla's build right now. Thoughts?
People will do very many things when you're on a sick trip.
It's like when RareScrilla's Pepes are taking DMT tablets in the form of Bitcoin. Peter Schiff, who famously lost the keys to his wallets and his BTC, right? Decided, you know what? I will not be one-upped. All right, you can't be silver when I'm the king of gold, like that Austin Powers gif. He was like, I will not be one up by Mike Myers. I will not be one up by any kind of silver commodity fucking collective conglomerates and shit. No, we worship gold around here, right? You will lick my toes and you will have a DMT trip where you will see God in the form of Peter Schiff's face and gold bullions. Thoughts? No kink shaming. Thoughts? You know how many... Go ahead.
I don't mind having more gold. Give it.
You know, Lindsay with an E made a very good point. A couple of random messages from all of us a couple of minutes ago that sex workers aren't represented the way that they should be. Sex work is the best work. So when rich billionaire boomers, well, not even just boomers, I don't want to attack all boomers aren't terrible, but when the people who have benefited off of DeFi, centralized finance, right? When they've amassed their wealth from being the first to touch gold commodities and stocks and shit like that, they had sex workers doing nasty things, but no kink shaming, right? Getting paid in gold flex in order to lick toes. It wasn't enough to have just one sex worker do it. They needed millions. And they're like, you know what? Why not? Let's farm this out. We don't need sex workers. Let's ship it overseas. Let's make all people worship at the temple of the Oracle, the temple of Delphi, but make it Peter Schiff. Let's bow down and lick the souls and have a DMT trip. It's like the equivalent of licking the back of a Pepe frog, right? Doing the toad venom like Mike Tyson so eloquently said. And you're imagining getting gold. Thoughts? Thoughts? Speaking of gold, the cat's out the bag. Art Blocks and Snowfro were part of that cult, and they were using the gold from Peter Schiff in order to secretly make the Onchainchain chains and shit. But it broke everything. It fucking broke everything. So I blame Peter Schiff for breaking Art Blocks. Fuck Peter Schiff. Next subject. Moving on. Next presenter, Pepelangelo. Shout out to Pepelangelo. Her laugh is infectious. You can feel the smile through all the words that she was conveying to Johan. I felt like I was in the room with them and they were staring at each other's eyes while communicating things to each other. And I was listening intently and shit like that. Here's my hot take. Many people have been in the space for years. Pepelangelo has been in the space for years. She's seen it go up. She's seen it go down. She knows what a winter is like. It's not winter is coming. Winter already came all over the place, and it wasn't a fun time. It wasn't a fun time. My hot take is that maybe, just maybe, the fun times are over. The fucking fun times are over. Shout out to everybody in the voice channel. The fun shit is done. Thoughts?
Never. We'll just find fun in other ways.
No, you. You find fun in another way.
We will.
No, you.
Who was that?
Same person.
No, it wasn't. I'm not having fun. I'm not having fun like the rest of the people in the voice channel listening to my voice. I'm not having fun. You're not having fun. Someone. I want you to paint me like one of your fucking French girls. I'm tired of this shit. It's not fun. Someone pay me like one of your French girls. I will pay you with the gold that I made from worshiping at the feet of Peter Schiff. Make the girl with the pearl earring, but make it French. Thoughts?
Can I paint you like a French fry?
Is that a rhetorical question? Phrase it again. Don't ask me a question. Phrase it rhetorically. It felt rhetorical, and so long as it's consensual, sex workers need things to be consensual. If you're gonna paint a motherfucker like a French fry, then you make sure you ask them nicely. Make sure make sure the oil is not canola oil. Make sure it's like gluten free and shit. Thank you, Conwolf. Yes, thank you for being polite. Thank you. When you're nice to sex workers, they're nicer to you and shit. No kink shaming. If you're into French fries, so long as it doesn't go up anything, but fuck that. It's open season. It's spring. Everything is open. Everything is fucking open. See, that's what I mean. Back in the day, back in Pepelangelo's day, everything was open. Everything was free. It was like the 70s. It was like Woodstock. The titties were out. The French fries were out. All the paintings were fucking, they were painting shit. And when did she say 2016? They were doing shit. They don't do shit now. Everyone wants to fucking make money. No one wants to. It wasn't free. Thank you, WG Meats. Thank you, Poachy Meats. You lived that life. You were all about the free love and shit. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It was, but now it's closed. The legs are closed. Pay me to open my legs, motherfucker. Thoughts.
I guess you can start a business doing anything.
You should be brave enough to do anything you want. Anything. Yes, Mark Rendar. No, you had it right the first. Oh wait, I read it the wrong way. I thought he said make Frenchies, not war. I'm like French. Fuck it, right? Moving on. Last and final presenter. We had Lander. Shout out to Crypto Lander. Crypto Lander, not from London. In regards to making snapbacks and digiphysical items, it's weird now when you have Balenciaga, you have Prada, you have Hermès, you have Bergdorf Goodman, you have the House of Gucci, you have Lady Gaga from House of Gucci fucking making them profitable, but then being killed because the motherfucker cheated on her. Did you watch the movie too? Did you watch? They stole it. They stole it from Al Pacino. They stole it all from Al Pacino, and the dumb fucking nephew didn't know shit. And Lady Gaga saved the day with her ass cheeks and a smile. Shout out to all the Italian women out there. It was a fucking smile in the form of a poker face. My hot take is that when it comes to fashion houses deciding to be different and new and fresh, right? It's weird when it's like they kind of dabble, they stick one toe in, instead of hopping in fully, they fuck up their fashion weeks in Decentraland. It's like they go half-assed in instead of full-ass, instead of full toe, right? If we're diving into the sex work that is Decentraland, which is a sex work hub, you gotta fucking go all ass, all cheeks in. Thoughts? Thoughts? You can't half-ass digi-physical. Somebody gotta wear the shit. Put your ass in the digi-physical clothing. Voxels hurt though, they have sharp edges, so good luck. Yes, digi-assical. WIP. Thoughts? Yeah, Toxam, I mean, I know we saw. What's crazy is that the fashion houses come in and they don't even provide like a means of actually getting some shit. They're like, oh, we're going to be different. We're doing it here. It's like, you're not different. You're just like co-opting. You're co-opting. The motherfuckers are making shit here in opposition to the old model that you profited off of. It's terrible. Fashion houses are not inclusive. So many dope-ass designers had to struggle to find ways of being seen and heard and churning some kind of fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Someone had to fucking do it. Anyway, I feel that developers seem out of rhythm, out of touch. And by delaying things for people who want things to be sprayed, they're causing issues for people who want things to happen, who need things to happen. I feel like developers need, once they finish developing and doing all that dev code shit, they need to hire sex workers. So instead of trying to water the digital gardens, they can fucking spray on something else and make us all happy instead of trying to delay the fucking outcome. Come already, motherfucker. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming through this edition of the Acties. Shout out to the entire leadership team here at meme.com. Shout out to the WIP crew. You know I love each and every single one of you. It was a wild day for all of us. Poor Rizzle, man. And last but not least, shout out to you. You meaning you who hears my voice. You are the WIP fan. Thank you so much. We can't do this without each and every single one of you. Feel free to, toss a coin to your Witcher in the form of the WIP ENS that is Matthew's username. Toss a coin to your Witcher. Thank you so much for posting that. You already know the deal. Speaking of which, following this, please grab a seat. Paradox couldn't wait. That's someone who's the opposite of delaying things like a dev. He's coming too quick. Wait your turn in this gangbang, Paradox. Please join the gangbang here at the Cult of the Eye, the Metaverse documentary, right? He shared the Crypto Voxels link. It's screen 2. I'm going there. I'm making sure that I'm making the floors of the theater sticky. Please click on that link. Paradox, please share it again if you can. Click on that link. Please join here. I hit something in the popcorn. It's lubricated. There's a hole at the bottom of the popcorn. Please dip your hands in while we wait for the Cult of the Eye screening. Shout out to Toxam. Yo, what's up, Toxam? Thank you so much, much love, and I'll see you at the premiere.
Thank you, show. Sorry, I was jumping the gun a little bit, but I am excited. This is the time we've all been waiting for, or probably just me, but it's the time for the documentary premiere. So to view the premiere, you need to be in-world in Crypto Voxels. When you arrive, jump into screen 2, get comfortable. We have a couple of minutes before we begin. So let's just make sure your CV isn't muted as the video is played in-world. So there's a couple of people that are left in the foyer. I'll give you a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, hello everybody. I am Paradox, a Metaverse videographer, also the WIP Crew videographer. Allow me to welcome you all to the virtual premiere of my documentary, The Cult of the Eye. This is a video subject that I've been working on and investigating for a couple of weeks now. The documentary was made for the Crypto Voxels community, and it's made in the spirit of fun. So whilst it covers some pretty dark themes, don't take it too seriously, okay? Right, let's see who else is left to come. I think we're nearly filling up. In the meantime, I'm going to pass the mic over to my good friend Box, who is going to tell you a little bit about the Granting Wishes cinema. And he's also got some cool trailers that he wants to tell you about, and then we'll play before the main screening. So let's just see if Box is whacked.
Yes, I am here. Thanks for
excellent. Loud and clear.
Yeah, so everybody, welcome to the GW Cinema. I'm Box. We run the Metaverse Experience Company, and I'm a part of the GW Cinema team. So we have two trailers before the Cult of the Eye doc today. One is going to be for the Genesis Film Fest, which is actually starting tomorrow. It goes through this whole weekend, the first ever Metaverse Film Festival at GW Cinema. Make sure to go to grantingwishesstudios.xyz to grab those tickets. And then we have a trailer for the a 420 event that we're throwing it back at Box called our Marijuana Metaverse Mansion. So it's a nice little party we're going to have next Wednesday. We got 20 NFT artists, 15 different amazing rooms. So we're going to show you a little trailer for that. And then we're going to get into the doc. Let me just see if there's anything else I want to know. Oh, if the screen ever glitches or freezes, just give it a click and that should reset it. But we should be rock solid and good to go. You want to wait a little bit longer, Paradox, or you want to get into it?
I think everyone's here that's going to be here. Let's roll the trailers, shall we?
All right, and here we go.
Tell me when it's live and we'll just confirm it's playing for everyone.
Should be live.
Okay, cool.
The following video has been dramatized for entertainment purposes. Nonetheless, it is based on true events. In the cycle of human history, the advent and subsequent life of the metaverse is but a blink of the eye. However, the passing of time has been observed to move differently in the metaverse, at close to the speed of light compared to that of the material realm. There is a far greater store of history within the metaverse than we might know. Let us now venture deep into the archives of the metaverse to visit ancient history and discover a long-forgotten mystery. Our investigation begins in the far-flung past of 2018. Nigh on the birth of crypto voxels itself, the user base grows and fledgling communities take their first steps. Origin City is at peace. This is all about to change. In the back alleys and seldom walked areas in the Makers District, an icon in the shape of an eye slowly starts to appear. Witnesses from those early days confirm that Makers District was indeed ground zero of this strange phenomenon. At the time, the citizens of Origin City thought little of the symbol, and life in the metaverse continued as usual. Then, seemingly overnight, a parcel in the heart of the Makers District materialized. Located at 3 Ron Road, the parcel was named the Eye Worship Garden. Images from that time show the curiosity of the users, many gathering to view the worship garden themselves. Strange scripture covered the walls, with some speaking of an individual known only as the Seer. In the center of the parcel, a floating banner reads, "Place an eye on your parcel to be visited." Was this to be the dawn of the first acolytes of the Eye? Over time, more and more banners appeared in parcels around Makers District, soon spreading to other parts of the city. In the present day, the Eye Worship Garden lays inactive, its scripture still visible. Standing alone in the parcel, one cannot but sense a lingering presence and a feeling of being watched. To most, the Eye Garden is little but a passing curiosity, quickly forgotten in the hustle and bustle of the city. But there is one user by the name of Toxam that by seemingly pure coincidence still flies the flag of the Eye. The Eye is now the centerpiece for his creative development studio, Polygonal Mind. Borrow from the lore of the cult and create a wearable collection, the Eye Follower Mask. Many present-day citizens still don this mask, simply thinking it a quirky wearable, blissfully unaware of its dark origins. The story might have ended there. Alas, it takes a much darker turn. New evidence reveals that at the time of the cult's expansion, another group emerged, calling themselves the Anti-Eye Resistance. It is not clear who this new group were, or why they opposed the Eye, but witness accounts claim there were as many that opposed the Eye as those that proclaimed allegiance. During the course of this investigation, an anomaly was unearthed, one embedded in the blockchain itself. The wearables first created by Toxam list him as the author, but curiously, the wearable lists the creator as Failure. Failure, also known as Benji, is a long-time developer at CryptoVoxels. This was our first clue that this mystery runs right to the core of the CryptoVoxels platform, to the CryptoVoxels team themselves. Our team was able to speak directly to Phaler and question him on the anomaly. Phaler claims that his name being listed as the creator was in fact a glitch caused by migrating old wearables collections to the new minting system. This sounds plausible, but soon enough, the dialogue took an unexpected turn. Our investigator requested that Phaler assist in gaining the perspective of CryptoVoxels creator, Ben Nolan himself. Phaler stated that Ben Nolan knows nothing about the cult of the Eye. Yet less than 1 hour previous, in response to a Twitter post by our investigators calling for information on the Eye, Ben Nolan tweeted, "The Eye will be suppressed." A bold statement for someone that allegedly knows nothing about the Eye. Following this revelation, witnesses have come forward, confirming that Ben Nolan and the CryptoVoxels team were staunch opposers to the Eye. This begs the question, what really was the cult of the Eye? And why did the CryptoVoxels team fear it so? Digging into the depths of Reddit, the investigators stumbled across a post from the same period. The post was titled, "I'm the author of CryptoVoxels. Ask me anything." Whilst there were hundreds of replies, one question and answer stood out. How long do you think it will take before an underground crime org starts development in your city? The user, thought to be the CryptoVoxels creator, Ben Nolan, responded by saying, "There is one already. I've been trying to stomp it out, but they keep popping up and trying to enlighten people. The Eye is some kind of underground art collective." It would seem Origin City was strife with hidden underground conflict, with the evidence suggesting the anti-Eye resistance was being led by the central CryptoVoxels team. So what was the fallout of this conflict? The exact details are as yet unknown. But around the same time in Origin City, many users en masse simply vanished. There is evidence that users sold their assets quickly and fled the city, and in some cases simply ceased to be, their parcels and social media profiles becoming inactive. One example of this is the owner of the I Worship Garden parcel that went by the name of Disket. Following the apparent conflict, there has been no activity from Disket in Origin City, the blockchain, or on any social media platform. In another bizarre example of user vanishings, the user known as XDev owned a parcel of land in the Deep South District on the very edge of Origin City. They named the parcel The Ranch. The significance of this parcel is the banner displayed on the exterior wall of the building, an anti-Eye resistance poster. Was XDev a supporter of the anti-Eye resistance? Or were they just caught up in the conflict? XDev too vanished into the ether, never to be heard from again. If the CryptoVoxels team were systematically stomping out the cult, why then would they make a member of their own side disappear? Much of what took place in those early days has been lost to time. Will we ever know what really transpired in 2018? We now come to the finale of our investigation and back to the present year of 2022. It is the height of the Non-Fungible Conference in Lisbon, a safe haven and veritable capital of crypto natives. In the back alleys and seldom walked areas of the city, an icon in the shape of an eye slowly starts to appear. It would seem that the resistance did not completely purge the cult of the Eye. This leads us to the question, has the Eye returned?
And that is it. Guys, thank you very much for coming. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you haven't already, make sure you sign the WIP guest book. We've put it at the bottom left of the cinema screen, and you will get a free wearable. That wearable is the Eye Follower mask, as seen in the documentary. It's actually a vintage, as you saw, it's a pretty vintage wearable. So guys, thank you very much. It means a lot you all came. Make sure to follow the GW guys on Twitter, see what they're doing. This is all possible because of them. So have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for coming, and I'll see you next week. Paradox out.
That was epic. Loved it. We will be having the cipher in about an hour and 15 minutes over in Token Smart, so hope to see y'all there. Peace, love, and whipsy.